Good to see
you.
you.
About 4 times in
I
this
know,
year.
it's been a busy year.
Busy year for you.
Despite the fact I've not actually been here much this year at all.
I think we saw you last year for Their Finest, right here. There it was. So listen, I was on the set of this one. I saw you hard at work in the studio. I noticed obviously they had the central heating off to create a bit of atmosphere. I mean, what was that like, you guys in those trenches with that going on around you?
Oh, see, actually in the trenches, that has a very, very different feel to like what it was like kind of in the studio. In the studio, we were trying our best to kind of get cold, but it was still, we were heating up and we were surrounded by candlelight, so of course the heat was quite, and in a very, very confined space. So it genuinely actually got really warm inside the studio. Outside, it was, I swore to God that my fingers were frostbitten. It was, I could barely move my hands and our feet were drenched, and it was tough. I mean, of course, it was nowhere near as tough as it would have been to actually have been there, kind of living it and going through that. But we definitely had a flavour of what, life in a trench may have been a bit like. Very wet, very sodden, very cold. But I think because we were all in the boat together, there was no egos, so we kind of all got stuck in together. So it was good fun.
Well, I spoke about Their Finest last year about the cast. I mean, this one equally as good. I mean, to be in this company of actors must have been amazing.
It's one of those ones that it was collectively put together so quickly as well, and it was one of those. I think because it was at the end of the year that we shot, I think it was more. I remember saying to Saul, the director, I was like, people are either available or they're not. It's that time of year where you're either working or, because we started shooting I think early November, and it was like, well, we can squeeze a 6 week in before Christmas. If you want to work before Christmas, there's a slot available, and there's 6 great, integral parts to the movie, and we had 5 great actors and myself, and so it was an honour to rub shoulders with those guys, and so many of them who like Paul, I've been a fan of Paul's ever since I was a kid. Stephen I'd worked with before, Toby I'd worked with before, Tom I'm a huge fan of, and Asa is just wonderful to watch, spellbinding. So
well, listen, good luck with the film. Thanks so much for stopping, man. Have a good one.
Cheers. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey